I'm going to show you a really cool type of weeding. It uses sticks. So you need 3 sturdy sticks, not super thin twigs, but I don't want it to be super thick either. I do not have these in the classroom, so you'll have to plan ahead. And you're going to need some yarn because we have to attach it together. So first we're going to make a slip knot. So I'm going to make a loop at the end and wrap the end around it. And I'm just going to kind of tie it together a little bit. So I'm going to take the end and tuck it through. And that makes it so this can slide just a little bit, just to tighten it up. I'm going to put 2 of my sticks together with my slip knot, and I'm going to kind of make my knot nice and secure by tightening it up. And I'm going to wrap it around quite a few times. So I'm going to wrap it this way, and I want to wrap it this way in between them so that my Y does not fall apart. You could also find a stick that's already shaped like a Y. That's certainly doable. And then I'm going to just tie it together one more time. So I'm just going to tie it to this little thing sticking out over here. Why not? But somehow just tie it together. Well, this was the end of my slip knot. Double knot it. You don't want it to come apart. Now it's up to you if you want to do your second knot first. Oh, sorry, attach your second stick, your third stick. I can't think today. Your third stick now or later. I'm going to do it now, and that's going to hold my loom in place. So again, you could do a slip knot, or you can just kind of hold it and just start wrapping like crazy to make it nice and secure. So I'm going to do it this way on the X, and I'm going to do it this way on my X to make it nice and secure. Either way works. And then I'm going to tie the 2 ends together. Here, double knot it. And I have one more corner to do too. So let's tie these together. This is going to be my loom, which is kind of fun to do a loom with wood sticks instead of cardboard. You can use as big of sticks as you want, but the bigger you do it, the bigger your weaving will be, which is fine. It's up to you. You could do a small one and just try it out. All right. My loom is all set up. I'm just going to trim off those extra little white things, just for now. Okay, now I got my nice little triangle. It's pretty sturdy. And what I'm going to do is I am going to set up the warp. So I'm going to pick 2 of the sides of the triangle to work on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it to one of them. It doesn't matter which one you do. Double knot it. So 1 knot, 2 knots. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the other side. First I've got to get my yarn, my thread. So for my warp I'm going to do more than an arm's length because I want to make sure I have enough to do this. So I'm going to go to the other side across. I'm going to wrap it around my stick one full time. So I'm going to make one big loop on this side. Watch out for the little ends it might get stuck on. And I'm going to pull it tight. And then I'm going to go to the other side across from it. And I'm going to wrap it around here. Nice and tight. And then I'm going to go to this side again. And I'm going to wrap it around the whole stick. Nice and tight. And you can wrap it more than once if you think that it needs it. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to this side. Try to keep it evenly spaced. Nice and tight. This will help it from wiggling on you too much. If you see that they start to get loose, you might have to wrap it a few extra times just to prevent it from moving. nice and tight. Go all the way around. When you get to the end, you can knot it and then cut off any extra string that you have. So my loom's not very big because I'm using small sticks to show it to you. So let me knot it and then I will show you how to weave, which you've already done before, so you should be pros at this. Everything's a double knot to make sure it's nice and secure. All right, it looks like I'm moving a little bit at this end. Okay, so to weave, you start with your yarn. Pick any color you want, about an arm's length. And I am going to use a needle for this, a tapestry needle. You don't have to, you could use your fingers, but I find a tapestry needle makes it easier. And what I'm going to do is put my needle, my yarn, through the eye of the needle, pull it so you have a little bit of a tail. And I'm going to start going. I'm going to go over, over, under, over, under, over, under. The first one's pretty easy to do because you can pretty much just slide it between. So ready? Let's make sure my strings are nice and spaced out so you can see it. I'm going over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Pull, 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 pull. For your first one, if you want it to, you don't have to. You can knot it to the string to make sure it is nice and secure. This doesn't have to be a tight knot. It's just to make sure you don't pull it through. And then you're going to do the opposite. So if I went under this string, now I have to go over and I have to do the reverse, going back the other way. Pull it. And now I ended on under, so I'm going to go over, under. And you keep following your pattern all the way down your line. Pull it. When you're ready to switch colors, take your two strings, line them up next to each other, and do the knot that I've showed you in the other videos. So I can show you that again in a moment. You don't want to pull your string too tight because it will start to pull on the yarn. All right, let me do a little bit more, and then when I come back, I will show you how to attach a second string. Okay, so I ran out of string. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put two strings next to each other, and I'm going to wrap those two strings around my finger, tuck both strings through that little loop that I just made, and pull it tight. Now, as you keep working, you might notice that, hey, you're running out of space at the top. That's true. The triangle does get smaller at the top. So what you're going to do is eventually you're going to say, hey, I can't do any more at the top, and you can stop going all the way up and you can just keep going to the row that you need to. So I have my knot here and I'll tuck it back there at the end. So this is probably the last time I'm going to go all the way up to the top. Just remember to keep your over under pattern as you keep going. And I also noticed that my strings are sliding a little bit. I should have tied it a little bit tighter as I was demonstrating to you. So make sure you don't make that same mistake I made and make those strings extra tight as you go. Be very careful as you pull. You don't want to pull too hard. And that, my friends, is basically it as you keep going. When you get to the end, you're just going to tie it off and that will be your circle weaving. That was under, over. All right, so what am I talking about? Your circle weaving, your triangle weaving. Have fun.